Today we are going to start with the topic financial analysis, that is ratio analysis. Let us start with the meaning of accounting ratios. We are going to start with the accounting ratios. What is accounting ratios or financial ratios? It is nothing but comparison between one set of figures from a company's financial statement with the another. Accounting ratio shows the relationship between two accounting figures. Now, what is ratio analysis? Ratio analysis is used to evaluate relationship among financial statement items. The ratios are used to identify trends over the time. One company or to compare two or more companies at one point in time. There are different forms of ratio. Number one is pure ratio. Pure ratio is nothing but simple division of one number by another. For example, 2:1. Number two is percentage. Percentage is same ratios are expressed in percentage. For example, 20%, 30%, etc. Number three is rate or times. Ratios are expressed in times, that is 5 times, 3 times, etc. Let us see the classification or types of ratio. Ratios can be classified mainly on three bases: based on financial statement, based on function, and based on the user. Let us start with the based on financial statement. This is also known as conventional classification or traditional classification. On the basis of which ratios can be classified as balance sheet ratios, revenue statement ratios, and composite ratios. Balance sheet ratio. When both the figures of ratios are taken from the balance sheet itself, it is known as balance sheet statement ratio. Number two is revenue statement ratio. When both the figures from the revenue statement or profit and loss account, it is known as revenue statement ratio. Composite ratio or combined ratio. When one figure is from balance sheet and one figure is from revenue statement, it is known as composite ratio or combined ratio. Based on the function. On the basis of function, ratio can be classified liquid ratio, leverage ratio, activity ratio, profitability ratios, and coverage ratio. Let us start with the liquid ratio. Liquid ratio shows the relationship between current assets and current liabilities. Whereas leverage ratio shows relationship between proprietor funds and debt used in financing the assets of concern. As activity ratio shows relationship between sales and assets, or you may call it as turnover ratio. For example of which is turnover ratio. Next one is profitability ratio. It shows the relationship between profit and sales, profit and investment. Coverage ratio, relationship between profit and claim of outsiders is shown in the coverage ratios. On the basis of user, ratio can be classified as for short-term creditors, for shareholders, for management, and for long-term creditors. For short-term creditors includes current ratio, liquid ratio, etc. For shareholders, it includes return of proprietor funds, return on equity capital, etc. For management, the ratios which are useful for management is known as management ratios. Return on capital, capital turnover ratio, operating ratio, expenses ratio, etc. For the use of long-term creditors, the ratio includes debt equity ratio, return on capital employed, etc. Let us start with the first ratio now. First ratio is current ratio. The current ratio is liquidity ratio that measures whether a firm has enough source to meet the short-term obligations. It compares firm's current assets to its current liabilities and expresses as follows: current assets upon current liabilities. Current assets include stock, debtors, bills receivable, prepaid, and current liabilities includes creditors, bills payable, outstanding, then bank overdraft, etc. Quick ratio. Quick ratio compares quick assets with the quick liabilities. Quick ratio is also known as asset test ratio. Now, quick assets equal to current assets minus stock minus prepaid. Whereas quick liability is equal to current liabilities minus bank overdraft, and if there is any future tax, it is also deducted from the current liabilities to calculate quick liabilities. The ratio shows as follows: quick assets upon quick liabilities. Next ratio is stock working capital ratio. Stock working capital ratio shows relationship between closing stock and working capital. The ratio is expressed as stock upon working capital. Working capital equal to current assets minus current liabilities. Proprietary ratio. The ratio for proprietary ratios formula is proprietor funds or shareholders' equity upon total assets or total liabilities into 100. Now, proprietor funds includes free share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus minus fictitious asset minus profit and loss account debit balance. Whereas total assets includes fixed asset, add long-term investment, add current assets. It doesn't include fictitious assets. Debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio. The ratio compares debt with the shareholder funds. The ratio is expressed as debt upon equity or borrowed funds upon borrowed funds plus proprietor funds. Now remember that from both the formulas are correct and the answer from both the formulas will be different. So the most proper formula we can consider as debt upon equity. Capital gearing ratio. Capital gearing ratio is expressed as capital carrying fixed rate of interest and dividend upon capital not carrying fixed rate of interest and dividend. So preference share capital is carrying fixed rate of dividend. That's why we have taken as preference share capital plus borrowed funds carrying fixed rate of interest. So we are adding borrowed funds in the preference capital upon equity shareholder funds. Now in equity shareholder funds, it includes equity share capital plus reserves surplus plus profit and loss account credit side minus profit loss account debit side minus fictitious assets. Next ratio is gross profit ratio. It is expressed as gross profit upon net sales into 100. Net sales equal to gross sales minus returns and gross profit equal to sales minus cost of goods sold. Operating ratio is express the relationship between total operating cost and net assets. Now operating cost include cost of goods sold plus operating expenses. Cost of goods sold upon cost of goods sold plus operating expenses. The formula for operating ratio is cost of goods sold plus operating expenses upon net sales into 100. Now, cost of goods sold can be calculated by two ways. First method is opening stock, add purchase expenses, minus closing stock, that is cost of goods sold. Or you may calculate it as sales minus gross profit, that is equal to cost of goods sold. Now, operating expenses include administrative expenses, selling distribution expenses, and finance expenses. Normally, interest is not included in the operating expenses. Upon net sales, now net sales includes gross sales minus sales return into 100. That is your formula. Expenses ratio. There are three different expenses, so there are three formulas. Administrative expenses upon net sales into 100, selling and distribution expenses upon net sales into 100, finance expenses upon net sales into 100. Operating profit ratio. The formula for operating profit is operating profit upon net sales into 100. So how to calculate operating profit, we will better explain in the when we are going to solve the problems. Net profit ratio in percentage. Net profit ratio indicates relationship between net profit and net sales. Net profit upon net sales into 100. Next ratio is stock turnover ratio. The stock turnover ratio is cost of goods sold upon average stock. Remember that if the cost of goods sold is not available, sales is considered as instead of cost of goods sold. And if the opening stock is not available, closing stock is considered as average stock. Return on capital employed. It is also shown in the percentage. The formula for which is profit before interest and tax upon capital employed into 100. Capital employed includes equity capital plus preference capital plus reserve plus long-term borrowings minus fictitious asset minus profit and loss debit balance. Or second method we can calculate as fixed asset plus investment plus current assets minus current liabilities. Return on proprietor funds. So formula for return on proprietor funds is net profit after interest and tax upon proprietor funds into 100. Now how to calculate proprietor funds? It includes equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus minus profit loss debit balance minus fictitious assets. Return on capital employed, return on equity capital. The formula for return on equity capital is profit available to equity shareholders upon equity shareholder funds into 100. Now, equity shareholder funds includes equity share capital plus reserve surplus minus fictitious asset minus profit and loss account debit balance. Now, profit available to equity shareholders means net profit after tax minus preference dividend, that is, you call it as profit available to equity shareholders. Dividend payout ratio. This ratio shows the relationship between dividend paid to equity shareholders out of profit available to them. Dividend to equity shareholders upon profit available to equity shareholders into 100. Next one is debt coverage ratio. The formula for which is profit before interest and tax upon interest. Next ratio is debtors turnover ratio. There are different formulas for this. Number one is credit sales upon account receivables or credit sales upon debtors plus BR. Now debtors plus BR, that is account both of you included is called as account receivables. If the opening and closing both figures are available, we have to consider the average of that. Debtors velocity ratio, there are three different formulas. Debtors plus BR upon daily credit sales or 12 months or 365 upon debtors turnover. If you have taken 12 months, the answer will be in the month, and if you have taken 365 days, the answer will be in days. The third formula is 365 upon credit sales into average debtors. Next formula is debtors turnover ratio. Next formula is creditors turnover ratio. The formula for which is credit purchases upon accounts payable or credit purchases upon creditors plus bills payable. Always remember that if the opening creditors and opening bills payable is given along with the closing figures, we have to consider the average, that is opening plus closing upon 2 as account payable. Creditors velocity ratio, the formula for which is 365 or 12 months upon creditors turnover. Now, if you have taken 365, your answer will be in days. If you have taken 12 months, your answer will be in month. Next formula is creditors plus bills payable upon daily purchases, or third formula is 365 upon credit purchases into average creditors. So, answer for any of the formula is same. It may have a point-wise difference. Other ratios includes earning per share, popularly known as EPS. The formula for earning per share is net profit available for equity shareholders upon number of equity shares. Next formula is price earning ratio, popularly known as PE ratio. Market price per share upon earning per share. The next formula is dividend yield per share, the formula for which is total profit distributed to equity shareholders upon number of equity shares. Next ratio is capital turnover ratio. The simple formula of capital turnover is sales upon capital employed. Next ratio is fixed asset turnover ratio, that is sales upon fixed asset. And the last ratio is profit to fixed asset ratio, net profit after tax upon average fixed asset. I think the major ratios we have covered in this PPTs. Let us learn these ratios. From next lecture, we will start with the problems on ratios.